only about curcuma and artesunate and hypothermia. It is as well about consciousness, and this is what I would like to introduce to you today. So I would want to talk about realms, different realms of consciousness, which can move into becoming an integral part of tumor therapy. And I'd like to take one slice out of this, and this is talking to cancer cells. So if you use a trance into patients, they are able to talk with their tumor cells, and I'd like to give you some examples on what can be experienced. I'll have 2 slides of brief introduction into body and mind. Then I would want to present you 3 patient cases and have a little summary at the end. So, well, we know we are body, mind, and spirit. Cancer patients, by the way, just as well. And the focus of medicine today clearly is on the body, which is perfectly okay. But there is a potential in mind and spirit just as well. And actually, this is not being addressed. And it is truly a potential. So body is matter. And Einstein once said, concerning matter, we have all been wrong. What we call matter actually is energy. Energy whose vibration has been lowered down that they are perceptible to the senses. In the end, there is no matter. So that means the body is a vibration, is energy just as well, and that part of energy can be influenced by the mental realms, and that is what it is about. And maybe a short introduction to myself. I was in oncology my whole life, in IT, in radiation, and I founded a hypothermia company, so I was in hypothermia. And this is where I realized that talking to patients when you're in a quiet situation can reveal so much stuff that I decided that I will leave all these business kind of things and start concentrating on that true potential. On a strictly scientific perspective, it's actually the exceptions, the contradictions that have the potential for true innovation. And if you remember in 1900, there was physics at the time was pretty much sure. Everything was detected. And there was a guy, Max, who investigated the characteristic of glowing cannonballs. And he found this irritating movement that they don't continuously change, but in jumps. It was Max Planck, and it came out the quantum mechanics, which revolutionized our life. So it was actually the very exception that started out. And if you look at cancer patients, it is interesting to investigate so-called spontaneous remissions, which is just another word for I have not the hell. I have no idea why it all of a sudden went away. So there are some authors, and remarkably, Carly Hirschberg, who did a very fine job, very scientific, very, very proper. Joe Dispenza, which became quite popular lately, You Are the Placebo, Kelly Turner, who are collecting cases of radical remissions. And a common denominator, and this is my experience just as well, they are widely varied cases, quite differently, but somehow there is one aspect in common, and that is there is a deep change in lifestyle, in behavior, or in attitude, or a core belief system that changed. So beside all the clinical stuff, which is helpful and necessary, there is a mental change as well going. That's a characteristic of these spontaneous remissions out of very palliative or final palliative cases. And Carly Hirschberg showed what I can tell in any case, and she did 270 cases, very well researched, not just collecting anecdotes. And each of them, she said, she came in touch with something that was essential to him or her. They all found a new inner core of their personality and developed their behavior or attitudes towards life and practices that were deeply congruent with their own self. So we just keep it in mind. 3 cases. The first one is a prostate cancer, and it is a very simple one. And I only want to focus on the trans level communicating with cancer cells. So I leave out the rest. And the rest is actually, you need to look at the life of inner children. If there are inner children in agony,